Is this thing on? Ah, I guess so. Good evening, fellow listeners. This, as you may well know by now, is Harmony Shadows, and I figured I'd take this chance while Splash is sound asleep to have a little one-on-one with you. Mainly to update you on a few things that have gone on since our sudden discovery of the brony community. Asher was very nice to leave us a lot, and boy do I mean a lot of information on the world of the brony. Naturally, I started to do research on this right away, which meant taking over Cupcake, and as always, Splash was hovering over my shoulder the whole time to make sure I was treating the computer. Alright, we found out the real name for this thing, but he insists we still call it Cupcake. Where was I again? Treating the computer gently. Well, after suggesting he go design something to cover up the computer while it was being used, I went back to researching. I discovered that there were a lot of gathering places for them to leave comments, photos, stories. Anything that you can think of that's pony related, then they've done it and placed it up for the whole world to see. A lot of the names are really creative, such as Equestria Daily, Derpy Hooves News, and Everfree Radio. Oh, I can't forget the individual communities that they're set up for each region that they live in. I wish Princess Luna could see all this, especially the many fans that she has in this world. Oh, it'd be so great if some of the listeners could send in messages for their favorite pony, and they could read them. Well, that would mean being able to get back home. Oh, great. I think he's up.
But Brayburn, I don't even like cucumbers. Hello, every pony, and welcome to the... Wait, something seems different today. Everything seems too dark, and... What's that flashing in the corner there? Harmony, have you been using Cupcake while I've been asleep again?
I know how to use the computer without you hovering over me all the time by now. And I got to sleep last night, so I figured I'd do some research.
If you can complain that I act too much like Pinky, then I can say you act too much like Twilight if you're staying up late to do... research, of all things. But what was it that you discovered this time, little Miss Night Owl?
Tumblr.
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 Will you stop saying that and tell me what what that actually is?
Well, it's this place where you can post whatever comes to your mind and have people follow you. Kinda, sorta like Twitter, but a whole lot less creepy. And there's ponies.
Ponies? How could there be ponies when we don't have this kind of stuff back home? At least I don't think we do. Wonder how long it's been.
Time is one thing I don't want to think about right now. But speaking about that matter, I did find this one Ask section for that one Turner pony, except it wasn't acting like his usual self. In fact, none of the Tumblrs I found were...
I'm surprised you didn't look for one that had Princess Luna's name. And why am I not shocked to see that you've already made an account?
I was hoping to find the real princess so we'd have a way of keeping in contact with her. But then I realized she'd be too busy to even see our messages in case there were some magical way of talking to her.
We really need to find a way to get back home, you know, before we start getting used to living here. Hey!
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you weren't going to eat that since you left it there all on its own.
That was my slice of pizza, and I was saving it for later. But now you went and ate it. You owe me an extra slice the next time we get another pizza to eat.
We should figure out how they make some of these foods and try to introduce them back in Ponyville. Or maybe even Canterlot, since they'd be so exotic.
We could open up our own restaurant, call it something, and serve all the really good food that we discovered that aren't made from friends. We'd be rich!
We can think of a name for that later. But I was thinking of maybe seeing if we could use this Tumblr to get in touch with some of these ponies.
How will we know if they're really ponies? It's not like we can go visit them to see that they're real ponies, especially with our magic doesn't always work outside of the house.
Trial and error. A simple process of elimination by asking every pony all these questions that anyone who has lived in either Ponyville or Canterlot would know, but we saw wasn't featured on the TV when the humans were spying on us.
All I heard was blah, blah, blah. Boring, boring, boring. You gotta think outside the box, Harm. Like I do, all the time. I could ask them for ideas on where the best place to go on a date would be. Now that's fun.
You know, I did see an Ask Brayburn account somewhere. I wonder if that's really her boyfriend, or some pony posing as him.
I would know if that was my Brayburn, or not. So you can't get me to look. Ah, pony feathers. You just tricked me, didn't you?
It's really not that difficult, Splashy.
How many times have I told you not to call me that?
Oh, he's not around to tease you.
Lucky me that it was only us back at the house when that spell backfired on me.
Too bad that neither of us are really talented in drawing. We could make our own Tumblr.
If you could draw, then it'd be filled with mushy, lovey-dovey pictures of him.
And if you could draw...
Was that a Pegasus I just saw fly by the window? Here I thought I was only the two of us that I managed to bring over here. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, nice try. But I know when I'm being tricked.
Don't say I didn't tell you the next time you see blue wings and a green-colored vest.
It's not that I believe you or anything. I'm just going to prove you wrong.
It's going to be worth it when she realizes in 3, 2, 1.
Wait until I get my hooves on you, Splash.
Shouldn't we focus on searching through Tumblr? There's a lot of ponies and so many questions that we have to get through. We need to do that right now before we forget.
That can wait till after I turn you brown.
No, not brown. Anything but brown. Brown is so boring.
Just say bye to any listeners.
Not a chance. I know, and you and your style of punishment. You'll just turn me brown after.
I'll turn you brown either way.
Good point. Well, until next time, faithful listeners, peace, love, and cupcake. You'll never catch me alive, Copper!